Good afternoon to everyone watching on YouTube. We're going to get the show started very shortly. Great. A student just texted me, told me they're watching right now. Great. Glad to hear that. Welcome to another episode of the You Are College Bound show. If you're watching today, that probably means that you are college bound. So a special welcome, of course, to all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search students who are joining us today. And of course, to anyone else watching, we welcome any and everyone who is college bound and wants to learn a little bit more about college. Oh, look, we actually have an alum of our Upward Bound program, a Wilson alum, now a student at Buffalo State College. He's checking in. Clarence, thank you for checking out the show today. If anyone else wants to drop their name in the chat to let us know you're tuning in today, that would be great. For all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search students, you can earn 15 College Bound points for attending today, and a little later I will be talking about the incentives that you can earn with those College Bound points. So to get credit for attending today, drop your full name in the chat, please, or you can text it or email it to us to get credit. So just in the YouTube chat, although you do need to be signed into your Google account to use that YouTube chat. But if you prefer, you can send a text message to 585-301-4488. Or if you like the email, send an email to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. Make sure you have that UR dot before the Rochester. So 3 different ways. All you have to do is send your name so we give you credit for attending today, and then you can get those 15 College Bound points. Also, as you probably know, we like to use the social media to connect with each other, connect with the students. So if you look up at the screen here, right there, you'll see the hashtag URTrioWorks. Please feel free to post on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, if you're on any of those, using that hashtag URTrioWorks. And later in the show, if we get any good posts, we'll be sharing those later in the show. So feel free to post during the show. Post a picture of yourself watching, any part of the show you found interesting. We do like to keep the engagement going on social media as well. To start, a few news items, or more so announcements. As you know, our Upward Bound and Talent Search programming has gone virtual. And this week we're really getting into the full swing of things. This is now our 2nd episode of the UR College Bound show. But we had our UR Success Academy, which includes tutoring for classes as well as preparation for the SAT, ACT, and other tests. We started that yesterday. On Wednesday this week, we started our book club, and tomorrow we will be starting our coding club, although the modules for coding club, some students have already started those because you can work through those at your own pace. I'll be giving some more information about those different clubs and activities later in the show, but I do want you to know that those have started already. And those are all opportunities to earn College Bound points. So we have our College Bound point system to reward students who've been participating, who've been staying on track for being College Bound. Oh, I see another one of our students just checking in here. Who is this? Oh, Kwanda Don is here. Welcome, Kwanda Don. Thank you for tuning in today. Yes, so you will be earning, there you go, 15 College Bound points for that. Now, we've actually been tracking College Bound points all through the school year, and on the cycle that just finished, we started during the summer. So I'd like to announce that we picked a winner, or there were 4 winners who earned their spots as College Bound MVPs, one from each of our high school. And we are going to be rewarding those students with a little Grubhub incentive, sending something tasty your way. But here they are, our College Bound Points MVPs. So from Monroe High School, we have Idalis Castro Lopez. From Wilson Commencement High School, we have Jason Cow. From Vanguard Collegiate High School, we have Cody Siricampone. And from East High School, we have Aroma Dulal. So give it up for those students. Nice work. Our live studio audience is going crazy for them. So nice job. Those students are all going to be rewarded with a little treat from Grubhub. And now we have started a new cycle starting with April as far as counting the College Bound points. That's going to go April, May, June, and into our summer program. And for those of you who do not know, our summer program this year is also going to be virtual due to COVID-19 and just our concern for the safety of our students and our staff and everyone. We want to continue to practice social distancing and do our best to limit the spread of the virus. Now, that is a decision that was made by the University of Rochester as far as no summer programs taking place on campus for this year. So our Upward Bound summer program will still take place, but it will be online this year. So that will be a little bit different, and it does present us with some challenges as far as planning it. But we've already gotten into planning, and it presents some great opportunities. We're going to have some different classes offered that you haven't had the chance to do before. We're going to be able to connect with different Upward Bound programs, hopefully all around the country, because since we're doing it virtually, it opens up a lot of opportunities where we don't have to worry about busing everyone here or there. We can just connect on the World Wide Web. So stay tuned for more information about details of what's going to happen in the summer. But we are excited, and we hope you are too. Great, one of our staff members on active duty right now. He's checking in. Hi, Sergio. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. And something that another one of our staff members mentioned, Danielle Daniels, who facilitates our coding club, she mentioned that tomorrow you're welcome to attend coding club even if you did not complete the modules that she sent out already. So anyone is welcome at coding club tomorrow, and we will send out that link to the Zoom meeting for that at the end of the show today. So that's coding club. But just to finish up with the College Bound points, with our College Bound points, you have a chance to earn them this month, next month, in May, June, and we're going to keep going all through the summer, July, and even into August. Each month there will be the possibility to earn more incentives, like the Grubhub. We will also have incentives that I don't want to announce them just yet, but some surprises. And the College Bound points that you earn now will count toward the trips that will take place next school year. Yes, we're all sad that we did not get to go on the trips we planned this spring, but we're already planning for trips in the fall. And then next spring is our big Washington, D.C. trip for all the current 9th graders and 10th graders. You are candidates for that trip, but you need to earn those College Bound points so you can get on that trip. So we're excited for that, and all you have to do is participate to earn those College Bound points. Another one of our staff members just checked in here, Reagan Hearn, and she just wanted to comment on how committed our UV family member Sergio is. And she says she misses us all. We miss her too, and of course all our students. We miss seeing you in person, but we do appreciate getting to check in with you here. Apparently the Mac has returned as well. Somebody named Mel Stendel. I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but he's checking in also. Next, I want to try doing a little poll question just to try find a different way to let the students interact. So we're going to see how this works. Follow along with me. Stay with me. There we go. Something else from Jaquan checking in again. All right, so stay with me on this. We're going to try this little poll question. All right, so we're just checking to see if this works. This is another way we thought we could try giving students a chance to interact during the show. But just a simple question. How are you feeling about today's show? And represented by different levels of the smiley face. Whether you're scared of the show, whether you're excited, so-so, in the middle. But all you have to do is go to the website at the top, pollev.com, pollev.com/upwardbound659. So you can open that on the computer. If you have a phone, just open up the web browser, Chrome, Safari. Go to that website, and you should be able to vote on this poll. And then if it works right, it'll show up on our screen here as far as how many people are feeling happy, in the middle, sad. So let's give this a try. I'm going to give it about 1 minute just to give people time to sign into that. And there's a slight delay on the video, so to give time for it to get up and running. But let's just give this a try, see how it works. If no one answers, I guess I could just assume everyone's on the far right with that big green smiley face. But just want to give this a chance to see how this works today. Staff members are welcome to participate in addition to students. And even if you're not in Upward Bound or Talent Search but watching, you're still welcome to participate in our poll today. And we'll have another one later in the show. This is just a little warm-up poll. For the next poll, you can participate by text message. But for this first one, you do have to open up the web browser and go to the website. Looks like Sharon just checked in. Sharon Matthews, glad you're here. Welcome to the show. Okay, I'll give it a few more seconds here. There may be some people having trouble with accessing this poll. Just something I wanted to give a try today. We'll try one more later to see if it works better. Okay, great. Oh, Jaquan is the big green. Thank you, Jaquan. I appreciate you for that. And if you see, we got a little mark on that light green happy face there, so that's great. All right, great. Thank you, Jaquan. Appreciate that. Okay, looks like we had a bunch of people on the dark green and the light green, so thank you for participating there. Next up on our show today, I want to take things back a few months ago, and I'm wondering if anyone remembers this. I have a little video show, a clip from Channel 8 News, and everyone just watch and see if you remember this.
Good afternoon, I'm Leah Lando. Mark is off today. Students in the Rochester City School District are walking out today protesting pending layoffs. Dozens of teachers received layoff notices Friday pending board approval. The district is trying to make up for a $30 million budget shortfall. Kayla Green was at a few of those protests this morning, and she joins us with more.
Students here at School of the Arts marched out of school around 10 this morning, completely filling this area and chanting things like "Save our teachers." The protests were organized over the weekend by students who feel very strongly about losing their teachers to the budget shortfall. Students also marched around the campus at East High, Wilson, World of Inquiry, and several others. Over 150 teachers are expected to be laid off if the board approves the plan next week. The students who organized the protests say their teachers provide stability and they don't deserve to be let go. Students say they were talking about the issue on Friday with friends and decided to organize these protests to show their support.
Seeing that my friends' favorite teachers got cut, like they were to the point of tears, they were crying that these teachers actually got cut for absolutely no reason. So that's what really set it off. I was like, okay, I need to do something about this, and even if in the end nothing changes, these teachers know that we love them, we support them, and we appreciate them.
Students and teachers are calling on the board to consider a plan that would hold off any cuts until the end of the school year. Rochester Teachers Association President Adam Urbanski says this would give more time to receive financial help from the state. In Rochester, Kayla Green, News 8.
All right, Kayla, thank you for that. Well, the board is expected to vote on those cuts December 19th. We, of course, will continue to follow that for you.
So I'm guessing some of you remembered that. There may have been some of you actually in that video, but this leads us into our next poll. And I'm going to pull that up right now. So here's our next poll. Oh, our Assistant Director for Pre-College Programs, Kevon Henry, is tuned in. Hey! East High till we die. One of you chatted that also. Yes, Thursky, that's right. East High alum myself, class of 2003. Yes, that was before most of you were born. I'm an old man, what can I say? I'm still fast though. But here's the next poll. So I just want to know, did any of you participate in these protests? With this poll, you can either go to that website. Oh, good, we already got a response. One person did not remember those protests happening. That's okay. They did not happen at every school, but as you saw in the news clip there, they happened at, oh, someone's going to change their answer, okay. They happened at East High School, School of the Arts, and there were other schools in the Rochester City School District and all around the district where there were protests. So I'm just curious if any of you did participate. If not, that's okay. Just looking to get a number. Okay, looks like we have one yes there. And I think I did see one of our East High students, who I'm not sure if that's him tuning in. I'm guessing that might be him based on his alias, but I think I saw him in there. And did see some other East High students I know. So it looks like we have one yes. Anyone else? Feel free to respond. You can go to that website again, pollev.com/upwardbound659. Or for this one, you could send a text message. You just text to 22333. That's the number you're going to send the text to. And the message you send is upwardbound659. After that, you'll get a response prompting you to choose either A, B, or C. So it looks like we have 1 and 1 so far. One student who did participate, and one who did not, and one who did not remember these protests happening. Now, it was unfortunate circumstances, but I did appreciate seeing our students in RCSD getting active, getting involved, standing up for themselves and their teachers. So I was happy to see the response, although I think none of us were happy at the reasons that caused these protests to happen, as far as budget cuts and teacher layoffs and everything involved with that. All right, I think we'll keep moving here. Looks like we had 2 who did not participate, 1 who did, and 1 who did not remember that happening. So thank you for participating. Now this leads us into our topic of the week. And if you think you know what this word means, you can go ahead and chat it right now. If you get it right, I'll put it on the screen. The topic of the week is activism, and it's related to that video we saw. It's also related to college, which is why we're talking about it today. Oh, thanks. Just got another thumbs up. Thank you for that. Yes, we do appreciate the interaction, whether it's the chat, the thumbs up. Like I said, on social media, please, we got the hashtag here, URTrioWorks. Feel free to post. We'll be keeping an eye on that during the show and posting some highlights later on. It's 10 seconds for any guesses on activism. If not, I'll go ahead and give you the definition so we can keep moving. I do have a very special guest who's been on hold waiting, and I've been keeping him waiting for a while, so I wanted to bring him on. All right, so activism can be defined as direct, vigorous action in support of or opposition to one side of an issue. If you take the example of those students protesting, they were taking direct, vigorous action in opposition to those RCSD cuts to the budget and teacher layoffs. So that's activism. It's great that we've seen high school students involved in that, and at colleges around the country, activism can be a big part of the college experience. So that is our topic for the week, and something we're going to talk to our Upward Bound alumnus of the week about today, and I'm going to bring him on right now. Jaquan, you got it. Well, you're a little too late. I beat you to the punch. But yes, Jaquan also has a great definition here for activism: the policy or action of using vigorous campaigning to bring about political or social change. Nice job, Jaquan. Another way of saying it, a little simplified version from Mel, an effort to make changes. Oh, and it looks like we have another one of our staff members and an Upward Bound alum checking in, Calum Rutledge. Glad you're here, Calum. And I'm about to bring on one of your former classmates, a different year as far as your graduating class, but same school. I'm going to bring him on now. Great. He is an alumnus of Wilson Commencement High School, class of 2018. He is currently a student at the University of Rochester. Will be graduating from the U of R in 2022, and we really appreciate him joining us today. That's Mauricio Coombs. Let's give a round of applause for Mauricio. He's going wild here. How are you doing today, Mauricio?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. It's good to have you joining us for the interview today, and sorry to keep you waiting on hold for so long, but I appreciate your patience. How about you and the rest of the family? How are you all doing right now and dealing with the tough situation we're in with the COVID-19 crisis?
We're doing pretty fine with um, the whole situation. It hasn't really impacted us too negatively, so it's not really much of an issue. But it's like, just adjusted like everybody else is. But
Okay,
luckily, nobody in my family has it or anything like that, so it's fine.
okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that no one in your family has gotten sick, and glad you're adjusting. Looks like Sergio wanted to say hi to Mauricio. Mauricio the first is what he said. So you remember Sergio and all the good times back in the day. So Mauricio, let me start by asking about your experience with activism as a college student and what you've learned from that experience.
So in my experience with activism, um, it's like, so I've been a part of multiple organizations. I have leadership for the multiple organizations. I'm the vice president for the Student Organization for Caribbean Awareness, and I'm the education and political chair for the Black Student Union. So just being on those two executive boards, like when there's certain things that happen on campus, people look towards us to respond. So for example, at the University of Rochester, there was an incident where in one of the freshman dorms, somebody wrote the N-word on the bathroom, on the bathroom wall or in the bathroom mirror, which we then responded to. We put out a statement, we talked to different people. We tried to, get something done about the issue. And really, and things like that have happened both years that I've been on campus. So really what it taught me is just to be persistent and that your voice is heard. It's like, I don't feel like you just don't be intimidated. You just know that you could just do it. And it's really not that hard either.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I'm glad you've been persistent and have spoken up and made sure your voice is heard. We certainly need that on the U of R campus and on every college campus. I'm sorry to say that similar incidents have happened at St. John's Fisher, at Nazareth, at other colleges, not just in the Rochester area, but around the country. But I think it is important that students are speaking up and making sure everyone knows that's not okay, and we're not going to just let that pass. But can you tell me, have you seen any results yet as far as your persistence in addressing that type of situation?
The first situation I had my first semester, they were going to arm public safety. We essentially stopped that, or at least postponed it for now. It's not. It hasn't. It was supposed to go through the semester that we protested it, but it was postponed and postponed. And now I don't think they're going to do it anymore. But at least for now, we know it's postponed. That's one thing that we saw a result from. But as far as like the N word thing, there hasn't really been any results. U of R just kind of tell us that they want to have like restorative talks and peaceful talks, but it's like they always want to have these talks. But it's like the people that are doing these things aren't going to these talks. Obviously, that's one. And two, it's like it's just not helping anybody. Nobody's getting punished. It's like nobody's really being investigated. So it's like, yeah.
Well, sorry to hear that. It sounds discouraging as far as that second situation. Although I'm glad to hear that you did see some type of success with the first situation as far as protesting with the arming of officers and seeing that get postponed. I want to pivot here to a different topic because you recently returned from studying abroad, and for our high school students who are not aware, although I think many of you are, study abroad is a great opportunity that some college students get where they get to go to another country and continue their college education while living in another country. So, Mauricio, can you tell us about your experience with study abroad?
So my experience with study abroad was, I guess it was fairly good. I would say it was good. I went to Ghana, which is a country in West Africa, if you don't know. I went with the CIEE program. So it was a program that was I had a partnership with the University of Rochester. The experience was really positive for me. I like the environment, I like the weather, I like the food. I did a homestay, so I stayed with a Ghanaian family. And my accommodation was really nice. The house was like huge, like it was like a mansion. I lived in like the rich neighborhood. My host mother, she was a caterer, so like they fed me twice a day, so I didn't have to worry about spending money on food. Um, and so I would just take an Uber to and from campus. I feel like the studying part of my study abroad experience kind of got messed up though, because in Ghana the way it's set up, it's like they start I think in like February 7th is their second semester. So I was probably there for less than a month. Well, I was really in classes less than a month before we had to leave due to Corona. So I really didn't get to fully experience the educational system there. But what I did experience, it was different, and some of the differences, it wasn't like really hard, but it was just like adapting to them was like kind of something that I had to get used to. But it's like I didn't even get a chance to get used to it because now I'm home and I have to take online classes. And University of Ghana doesn't have any online classes in their regular matriculated semester, so it's like this is like brand new for the university. So this is that's the only thing. But I feel like being there, it was good though.
I'm glad you still got something out of the experience, although it didn't go exactly as planned with getting cut short. But it's great that you're being a trailblazer and being part of this new program, and hopefully other students will get to take part in the future. It actually reminds me of when I did study abroad as a college student, although not in Ghana, I was in Japan. But the similar part was I also had a homestay family, and I remembered getting the 2 meals a day with them, and that was always great because they had some good food. Oh wait, we got a little comment for you here. Look at that, good one, Henry. Oh yeah, Mauricio, hair looking quite healthy. Looks like Ghana was good to you. Glad you're back. That's from Kavon. And any students or anyone
Thanks,
listening, if you have
Kevin.
any questions for Mauricio about college, about study abroad, about his experience as a high schooler at Wilson, go ahead and put them in the chat because I'm going to keep them for a few more minutes here. So, Jaquan, Armel, Sharon, any other students, if you have any questions you want to ask Mauricio, go ahead and add them in the chat. But while we're waiting for student questions, I'll keep going because I have a few more of my own. What would you say was the most unexpected thing that happened or the most surprising part about living and studying in Ghana?
Um, I guess I would separate living and studying just because I guess they're two different categories. I guess for living, What surprised me the most was how cheap stuff was, definitely. Like relative to the prices in America. So it's like five Ghanaian dollars is like one US dollar. So it's not really that much off. But at the same time, like the price of living is just so much lower that it is kind of off. So I could get like a plate of food that would cost me like $10 in America. So it would be like 50 Ghanaian dollars, but it would only cost like 10 Ghanaian dollars. So it would be like $2 American for like a big thing of food, or even like my Ubers. I would Uber every day to and from campus. You would think that would be expensive, but it was like $2 a day or $3 a day. So that was like something that just surprised me a lot. And also, I guess something that surprised me is like how much I liked it. Like I didn't feel like I had to adjust too much. I felt like the vibe was just right. So I guess that's something else that surprised me. And then as far as academics, I was just surprised that like the syllabus week, because like the week before, like you can't sign up for classes in online. You have to go to each department on this huge campus and look at the poster board and see what classes are available, what rooms they're in, what time, and all that. So you have to do all that manually. And a lot of the times they wouldn't be even up. So you would have to you would go Monday, it wouldn't be up. They would say, "Oh, it should be up by Wednesday." You go Thursday, it's still not up yet. Classes would have started and the timetable for your class is still not up yet. So you know the class is being offered, but you don't know what time it's going to be. So things like that were definitely an issue. And then not only that, but a lot of times professors wouldn't come on the first day of class. So I guess there's like a tradition where students would always skip the first day of class. So professors began to do it too. So it's like you're in the class and you're sitting. So all the classes are 2 hours, once a week. So you're sitting class. It's like, oh yeah, after an hour, if the professor doesn't come, then you can leave. But you're supposed to sit there and wait for an hour before you can leave, type of thing. So that kind of threw me off. But after that, it was pretty good.
Okay. So we have a question from a student here about study abroad. Jaquan asks, is study abroad a part of your tuition?
So it depends on the program. Since my program was a partnered program with the University of Rochester, it was a part of my tuition. So I'm HEOP. So that means that my scholarship is like a full scholarship. It covers room and board and everything. So what happened was, since basically my scholarship covers everything, room and board, at my home university, since I studied abroad, they readjusted my package and used the same money for abroad. So I didn't pay for anything. I didn't have to pay for anything except for like my ticket and then like buying stuff that I wanted there. But my tuition and my room and board was paid for with my home tuition.
Okay, great. So your tuition you're already paying to the U of R that covered, or your tuition and room and board that was already being covered at the U of R through your HEOP scholarships and financial aid that applied toward Ghana.
Right. Because
Okay,
it was a partnered program.
got it. No, that's great. I've heard it can work differently depending on the school that you're studying at and the school that you're going to abroad. It can depend differently, but oftentimes the cost ends up working out about the same because your financial aid should apply in one way or another, Jaquan. But thank you for asking that question. All right, well, Mauricio, I've got one more for you, and then I will let you go. But today's episode of our UR College Balance Show is targeted at our younger students, ninth graders in particular. So I wanted to ask you to think back to when you were a ninth grader at Wilson, and what advice would you give your ninth grade self, knowing everything that you do now?
Um, Enjoy high school, but like still do your work, but definitely enjoy high school. Cause you probably think like it's boring, it's this, it's that, but it's so easy that you're just gonna miss how easy it is. Like you don't even have to go to school every day. You could graduate easily. Like just enjoy high school and do your work. That's all I would say.
Enjoy high school and do your work. Sounds like good advice. Well, thank you very much for coming on today, Mauricio. We appreciate it.
For
And
having me.
we hope we get to see you in person again soon. Hopefully the U of R will be open back up in the fall again, and we'll see you then. But we'll have to wait and see at this point.
Right. Hopefully though.
So you have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you again for coming on the show.
All right. Have a good night.
So one more round of applause from our studio audience, Mauricio Coombs. That was great having him join us today. A Wilson alum, and we're very proud of everything that he's done since he graduated from high school and became a college student. He's doing great. So we've been talking about activism, and next I'd like to talk about careers in activism, because it's not something that has to stop when you graduate from high school or graduate from college and you're no longer a student. Anyone of any age can be an activist, and there are a lot of people who make it into a career for themselves. I'd like to highlight today a person who has made a career out of activism, and his name is Rashad Robinson. He's American, and he is a civil rights leader and currently the president of an organization called Color of Change. So I have a video. It's a clip from, oh, thank you, Armel. Notice the Upward Bound swag here. Of course, have to rep Upward Bound. But I'll continue about Rashad Robinson, and then I'm going to show a clip from a video he did on the TV show Black America on Cooney TV, which tells a little bit about his background and how he got involved with activism. I can't just hook you up with this shirt. You have to earn it, Mel. But those incentives I mentioned earlier, some of them may include some swag, some gear. I'm not going to say this specific pullover, but that is one potential type of incentive you can earn by earning those college points. So keep it up. And we may be able to mail some things. Some of it might have to wait until we meet in person again, Jaquan, but there may be some things we're mailing. Like I said, for those students who already earned that College Bound Points MVP, they're getting sent some Grubhub straight to their door. So we do have some things we can send straight to you even while we're apart. But let's keep going here. I'm going to show you this video about Rashad Robinson. And as you're watching it, I just want you to start thinking about any problems that you would like to solve in our world while listening to Rashad talk about the problems that he's trying to solve.
So much of my activism and advocacy has really been about this idea of not just changing policy, but changing culture. It wasn't illegal for my grandfather to get an education, but no one valued his education. And when I learned that, and as I was growing up, I got very involved in activism early on. I think at 14, I was knocking on doors for candidates, very involved in our local NAACP chapter with my parents. I had a local public access TV show. I led protests.
Oh, that's really something. What were you talking about on your TV show?
We were talking, every once in a while, like my younger brother or my parents will bring out the tapes to embarrass me. But I thought I knew a whole...
I wish we had a clip.
I'm so glad we don't. But I was, I was very earnest, even then. And talking about everything from racism to sexism to teenage pregnancy, all of these issues.
At
and we would have
15.
other young people on the show. We would have callers. We would talk about issues that were happening in the schools.
And a long-running show, too.
4 years, yeah. 4 years of public access. I mean, that's
a lifetime.
A lifetime in television, absolutely.
That is amazing. So then you go to college. Majored in
political science. I was in student government. I was the president of the student body for my junior and senior year. I interned on Capitol Hill. I got really involved in local work in DC and did some youth organizing work, and that transitioned into doing voting rights and was in voting rights for a while, doing everything from working on alternative voting systems in the South and traveling in the South to doing work around felony disenfranchisement.
So you see, this is my sense as you've been my hero for 1,000 years, but you started when you were 12.
Yeah, I had a really early.
Yeah, and that drive you think came from?
I know it came from having a family that talked about politics and policy. It came from this understanding that there was a way to make things right, from the stories of my grandfather and remembering sort of the idea of my grandfather in a country that didn't value his education, that he would want to still participate and make his voice heard. that still is incredibly powerful to me and motivating.
Right, and the Color of Change, 1.2 million members, and counting. That's huge. Is that like the largest?
We are the largest online civil rights organization. We have the largest online presence of any civil rights organization in the country. Absolutely.
And what are we fighting for these days? What's the?
Well, so much of our work is forcing institutions and government to be responsive to the needs and concerns of Black people. The story of Color of Change's birth was that we were started in a flood, Hurricane Katrina. That was caused by bad decision makers, right? That turned into an epic, life-altering disaster by bad decision makers. Black people were literally on their roofs begging for the government to do something, and nothing happened. And in the process, it exposed weaknesses in this civil rights infrastructure, the ability to channel everyday people's energy into demands. People were giving to the Red Cross when they should have been doing structural change. And in a sense, the exposure was that nobody was nervous about disappointing Black people. And when people are not nervous about disappointing your community, all sorts of things will happen to you. And that was really at the heart of it, and that's still at the heart of so many of the campaigns that we run. It's about forcing institutions and government to be responsive to our needs.
Founded by Van Jones, that we still see doing analysis on CNN, and James Rucker. We have a little clip you're talking about Color of Change. Let's take a look at that now.
Color of Change has helped to build a culture of participation that we've seen over the last 10 years. But we can't mistake cultural presence for cultural power. What we have to do every single day is translate the presence that people have in the world on our issues into the type of cultural power that makes real change.
Color of Change, engaging people, is at the heart of how you make the rules different to benefit everyone.
Whether it's a campaign against ALEC to get corporations to withdraw their money and membership, whether it's campaigns to keep net neutrality, whether it's campaigns around Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown or police accountability, Color of Change is at the forefront of getting new voices into the process, engaging campaigns that actually win.
In the process of winning, it really is about thinking through strategy. It's about how do we leverage power? It's how are we telling the story the right way?
So there it is, Rashad Robinson, Color of Change, a young man who from an early age saw that there were inequities, saw that people's civil rights were not being respected and protected, and he made it a life goal and turned it into a career, and he's done very well. He's effected some big changes in our country. So just a little poll question here, but we'll just use the chat. If any of you are students or anyone watching has a problem that you feel like that you would want to help solve, go ahead and put it in the chat now. I'm just curious to see any problems that are already ones that people are thinking about today. And maybe it could become a career for you down the line. Maybe you could become the president of an organization fighting for change. Or maybe it's just something that you care about and you have not yet figured out the way to go about effecting change. Maybe the problem is our teachers in our school is getting cut and you'd like to help solve it, even if you don't have a strategy or way to do that just yet. So go ahead and drop that in the chat if you have any kind of problem that you would like to solve. And hint, hint, that is going to be connected to our weekly assignment for which you can earn additional college-bound points for doing. So I'm asking you now so you can get ahead of the game. While you're thinking of that, Jaquan did have a question about our Upward Bound Summer Program. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, and I'll mention again, that we are doing our Upward Bound Summer Program this year. It is going to be a virtual summer program. It will be online, not getting together in person, but we have Zoom, we have YouTube, Facebook, all different ways to connect online, and it opens up some opportunities because right now our staff is looking into ways to connect with other Upward Bound programs around the country as far as classes, as far as competitions. So it could open up some new possibilities for us. So we're excited. We hope you are too. And once again, you can keep earning those college-bound points from now all the way through the end of the summer, and those will count toward the big trips that we'll be doing in the fall and then next spring. So looks like you're still thinking of maybe a problem that you might want to try to help solve, and that's okay. Let's move on to everyone's favorite part of the show, which is our SAT questions of the day. So first we're going to start with math. This is the no calculator section of the math part of the SAT. So I'm going to give you 1 minute and 30 seconds. Once you have the answer, go ahead and send the answer to that same phone number I had up before, 585-301-4488, or you can email the answer to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. You probably don't want to put it in the chat immediately because then someone else could steal the answer from you. So you might want to hold off on putting it in the chat. But 53 seconds. If I do get that text from you or that email from you before the time is up, you can get 5 additional College Bound points for getting the correct answer here. Right? The question is, if the quantity x minus 1 divided by 3 is equal to k, and k equals 3, what is the value of x? Is it A, 2, B, 4, C, 9, or D, 10? Once again, if you have the answer, text it to 585-301-4488 or email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And the time is up. So let's see if anyone got the answer right. Now let me get out of the way here so you can see it. The answer is D. Since k equals 3, one can substitute 3 for k in the equation x minus 1 divided by 3 equals k, which gives the quantity x minus 1 divided by 3 equals 3. Multiplying both sides of the quantity x minus 1 divided by 3 equals 3 by 3 gives x minus 1 equals 9. And then adding 1 to both sides of x minus 1 equals 9 gives x equals 10. All right, you got it. Although I don't know if you got that after I already showed the answer, so sorry. I'll check the text and email to see if you got the answer on time, Mel. But it is D. Also, choices A, B, and C are incorrect because the result of subtracting 1 from the value and dividing by 3 is not the given value of k, which is 3. So that's our math question for the day. Next up is our writing and language question. We'll give you 2 minutes for this one because on the test you get a little more time per question with the writing questions than you do with the math question. Once again, chat, or I should say text, the answer to 585-301-4488 or email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. Let me start the clock here. You got 2 minutes for this one. Now with these writing and language questions, which could be on the SAT, on the PSAT, you will have a paragraph or a passage, and there will be certain underlined sections, words, phrases, sentences, and you have to decide if they should stay as they are or if they need to be changed. There may be a grammatical error that needs to be changed. It may just need to be changed to sound better, and they will give you choices for keeping it the same. So choice A would be no change. That means leave it as is, do not change it. Or there'll be choices for changing it. So right now we're looking at number 7. So if you look at the passage 7, there's a number 7, and then it says to be. It is an excellent, so if you look on the 5th line of the passage here, serves to be a digestive aid, and it keeps going. So you have to choose if it's A, leave it as to be, or if you want to change it to either B, as, C, like, or D, for. So those are your choices, A, B, C, or D. And we're just looking at number 7. Not 6, not 8, not 9, just number 7. 45 seconds. And yes, nice job, Jaquan. I saw you got the correct answer on that last one. Hopefully you got it within the time limit. And before I showed you the answer. But let's work on this one now. 30 seconds. Hopefully you read that paragraph already so I can show where to send your answer to. Text it to 585-301-4488 or email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. 15 seconds. You can go ahead and drop it in the YouTube chat now if you want, because we're on that delay anyways. 5 seconds. Time is up. Time is up. Let's see if we got it right. Let me get out of the way here so you can see the answer. Choice B is the best answer because it provides a grammatical standard preposition that connects the verb serves and noun digestive aid and accurately depicts their relationship. Choice A is incorrect because the infinitive form to be yields a grammatically incorrect verb construction, serves to be. Choices C and D are incorrect because both present options that deviate from standard English usage. So there it is, B. Jaquan and Mel, looks like you got it. Hopefully you got it before I showed you the answer, but you did get it. Either way, hopefully you learned something from this. So those are our 2 SAT questions of the day. Now, if you want to continue practicing for the SAT, or for the PSAT, for the 9th and 10th graders, that's what you'll be taking sooner, the PSAT, never too early to start practicing. I would recommend you go on Khan Academy, that's KhanAcademy.org. I've seen some of you already using it. I know some teachers are using it for math classes and other classes at school, but we have our own Upward Bound SAT prep class. And here's our code. So you just log into your Khan Academy account. You can log in with Google. You can use your RCSD Google account. And then you just add class and put in that code, WQYX5B5N. So copy that down, screenshot it so you can join our class. And for every hour you spend using Khan Academy, you get 5 College Bound points. So another easy way to earn those incentives using the Khan Academy. So thank you everyone who's stuck with us through the show today. We are coming up toward the end of the show, and I just want to do a little more promotion for our other Upward Bound programming we have going on besides our UR College Bound show. Of course, in order to get attendance credit, you do need to make sure that you chat your name, or you put your name, full name, not your alias, because I don't know who you are if you have some weird name that is not your government. Put your full name, first and last, in the chat, or if you don't want us to know publicly who you are, just text it to 585-301-4488, or you can email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. That's for all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search students. In order to get those 15 College Bound points for attending today, make sure you send us your name so we know that you are here. So one club that we had that started this week was our book club. We had our first book club meeting last Wednesday, and from what I heard, it went very well. Here's the book that we're reading for book club. I have my copy here, the 57 Bus. I've started it. I got a ways to go, but it's been good so far. Great story. Armel, I see you in the chat. Great. You'll get your credit for today. And book club had their first meeting on Zoom on Wednesday this week. So if you see next to me here, there are the people who came to that meeting. I think we had 8 there, some staff, some students, and from what I heard, it went pretty well. They'll be meeting every Wednesday. Now, I'm sorry to say that we have already run out of all these copies of our book club book that we gave out for free to keep to the students. So if you want to join the book club now, you can, but you just have to find this online or find another way to get it. Now, in mid-May, we'll be starting a second book. So if you want to get in on it then and have us get a copy for you, make sure to stay tuned for that. So there's book club. The other club that has already started is our coding club. And like Danielle said earlier, you can come tomorrow for coding club, even if you have not done the modules, because there are already 2 modules that have been released. But you can show up tomorrow, 2 to 3 p.m. on Zoom. We will send out the link for the Zoom meeting in a few minutes here. Send that out via Remind, so keep an eye out for that. But anyone's welcome to come tomorrow to Coding Club, even if you haven't started the modules yet. But Danielle made a little video about Coding Club. So let me show that to you now, just so you can learn a little bit more about it. Coding Club.
Hi, this is Danielle, here to encourage all of you to give Online Coding Club a try. This semester, the goal is for everyone who participates to complete a playable arcade game by June. This is an example of the type of game you can create. I didn't create this one from scratch, rather I just modified it. As you can see, the code consists of blocks that snap together rather than a bunch of text. So this is a really great way for you to start if you don't have much coding experience. So this is a platformer game, and I'm really bad at platformers on a good day, and I'm going to try to do this while I talk to you. The creator of this game animated the player so that its appearance change when it moves. So if you can see it face left and face right, it looks slightly different, while the enemies don't change and aren't animated. Not too bad. Let's see if I can make it to the end of this level. Yeah, I just normally run screaming through levels rather than trying to stop and collect everything. But if you are interested in joining me for Coding Club, you can contact UR College Bound staff at 585-301-4488. Or you can go ahead and get started on the self-paced modules, and the links are included here. On Saturday, I will host live Zoom classes at 2 p.m. to help you with this material. So this is a great way for you to earn College Bound points, and I hope to see you this weekend. Thanks.
So that's Coding Club. The link for the Zoom meeting tomorrow just got sent out via Remind, so that should have already hit your text messages or your email. That is tomorrow, 2 to 3 p.m., Coding Club. And if you did not screenshot the links to the modules quick enough, just send us a message to 585-301-4488, and we can send the links to those for you. Coding Club, that's tomorrow. Last but not least is the UR Success Academy, which started yesterday, and that will take place every Tuesday and Thursday now from 3 to 5 p.m. on Zoom. So here's a little bit more about that one. This is the UR Success Academy, which includes tutoring for your classes. It includes SAT prep and preparation for other tests. And here's a little bit more about the UR Success Academy.
And now we have a special message from our tutors.
Did you know every 1 hour of tutoring gets you 5 College Bound points?
Did you know that learning loss is real? Did you know that we can help?
Did you know that if you pass your class this year, you don't have to take the Regents?
Did you know that tutoring 2 hours a day keeps the F away?
Did you know our tutors are working harder so you can get smarter?
Join our group tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Contact your advisor if you have any questions.
So there's the UR Success Academy. Last but not least, I have our assignment for students, specifically for our 9th graders, because this is our special 9th grade episode, although I saw some 10th graders here, and of course anyone is welcome to tune in. But here's the assignment for this week. To get full credit and receive an additional 10 College Bound points, a UR Upward Bound or Talent Search student must complete the weekly assignment and email to any academic advisor. You can send it to me. You can send it to that Upward Bound email address we showed before. You can send it to the advisor you're comfortable with. But here's the assignment for this week, and it's related to our weekly topic of activism. Based on a problem that you want to help solve, choose an activist group and write about it. It could be that Color of Change group that Rashad Robinson is the president of. It could be something else. It's up to you to choose what your interest is. Then I need you to write about what problem they are trying to solve and how they are doing it, why you chose that group, and how you can get involved. It should be at least 3 paragraphs, and just email it to any advisor. And you can also contact any of us if you have questions about that or need help. So that's the assignment for the week. You can get an additional 10 college-bound points. All you have to do is write 3 paragraphs, and you can be on your way to earning trips and other incentives. So that's going to bring us to a close for today. Thank you to all of you who tuned in. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned something from it. Just a few more reminders before we say goodbye for the day. The recording of this episode will be up on our YouTube channel. It is public. And feel free to subscribe to the channel, but also to your friends and classmates who missed it today. Let them know it's on our YouTube channel. They can check it out anytime there and can still get credit for doing that assignment even if they missed checking out this episode in person. So subscribe, check out the YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. Our next show will be next Friday, April 24th, and that one is especially for our 10th graders. So Armel and Jaquan, I hope you're there. Tell the other 10th graders to show up, check it out. And it's open to any student. There'll be some good information about college, about careers, and about academics, of course. Probably some more SAT questions as well. So that'll be next week. On May 1st is our show targeted at 11th graders, and then we'll come back to 9th graders on Friday, May 8th. Make sure you're keeping in touch with your Upward Bound or Talent Search academic advisor, and make sure you're keeping an eye on those remind messages, because we do send out a lot of important announcements and information that way. If you are not signed up for Remind, let us know. Send us a message to 585-301-4488. You can call that number or email upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu, and then we can get you connected. So thanks again, and this is Brady Ferguson, Senior Academic Advisor, signing off. Good night now.